Welcome to the Mans Ultimate Update Deep Dive for version 1.4, which is about to drop shortly to the public in the upcoming days. Today we're going to talk about the new features and new content that is coming with version 1.4, namely of the content updates. That is the Daytona and the Laguna Seca racetrack, 2 out of the 6 US American racetracks coming within the US Track Pass. We're not going to talk too much about the tracks because we are probably going to take them for a spin upon the release. However, I want to quickly note that both tracks come for a price of $20 and the full 6 track pack comes for a price with $45, and currently there are going to be discounts upon the update day where you can save some bare money unless you are a Pro and a Pro Plus Race Control subscriber, and that is becoming even more interesting for you now in the future. So we're going to talk about these couple of things, and I already reveal a little bit of a funny one and a very, very interesting one, which is going to be a little bit revolutionary, I want to say. Note, we're going to talk about physics at the end of this video. But anyway, now we're going to deep dive into the updates as they're coming. I know you're eager about the updates coming, so let's dive into them straight away. But before that, please make sure to give a thumbs up to the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, ring the bell, and let's now talk about updates. So I'm not going to every little detail that is being mentioned in the update changelog, but we're going to talk about the most interesting parts a little bit more deeply. And to me, the redoing of the entire online platform, the entire online foundations, how they are calling it, is probably a pretty significant update. Whilst we shall not see too much about that, because it hopefully means smooth sailing, smooth driving, smooth operation in the game at all times, I do believe for Studio 397 this is a pretty significant one. So they're moving from a third-party service layer to an newly built online service layer, which is called Race OS for them. And it comes together with the improvements of netcode as they're changing the way they are using the connections, hopefully causing less latency, improving side-by-side racing, and more precise and specific calculation of positions of the cars per all the CPUs that are calculating them. I'm pretty sure that is part of the online platform, but I also think the upcoming topic that we're going to talk about is benefiting a lot from that. And that's going to be protest and live stewarding. So, admittedly, I was a bit shocked and also a little bit surprised, but then at the same time, as much as I think about it, I found the number was reasonable. 4,500 total temporary bans coming from intentional wrecks, people just doing stupid stuff on the track. And it really goes nicely into my esport diaries, the state of esport, and also the video that's that I've done about what is Le Mans Ultimate's issues, talking about cause and effect. That this number slots so nicely into the experience that we've had in the past couple of weeks and months. And to me, it's really shocking. But anyway, something else that is even more shocking to me is that Le Mans Ultimate or Studio 397 receives over 700, and I need to repeat that number, 700 protests a day. So that wasn't really sustainable. That was a workload for a lot of people, day in, day out, doing nothing else than looking at protests. So this update to the live stewarding and also the protest system is going to be a game changer, not only for us as a community, as drivers, as people being involved, but certainly for Studio 397, hopefully freeing up more resources to fix more bugs, to work on different areas. Because from here on, we're now able to just go into the result file, load up the replay of the specific session where we had an incident with someone else, and then you'll see down in the replay bar already orange pins being set wherever there was contact with another vehicle. All you need to do is go there, click File Protest, select the intentional wrecking, have a short description, and Studio 397 receives from this time step onwards minus 30 seconds, plus 30 seconds, and they will receive that clip directly attached, coming via their new online platform system to have a really quick look at the scene. They don't need to fire up the game, they just look at the clip, they do the ruling and improve the time spent on making a decision from 5 minutes to probably less than 2 minutes. And that's going to be a great feature indeed. On this note, I need to emphasize though, it's very important that we consider that this reporting functionality will only be available for intentional wrecks as long as it is daily, weekly or special event races. It's only going to be online championships where also racing incidents such as pushing someone off the track, spinning someone around because of a mistake is being looked at with that system too. In any other area, only intentional wrecks will be dealt with. On the situations of protests and live stewarding, this has been going on for a little while now, and I cannot get my head around the 4.5k temporary bans and the 700 daily protests. But I'm interested in your opinion. Have you had incidents that you reported in the studio or towards Studio 397? How long did it take? Did you get informed about the outcome? Let me know a little bit more about this because I haven't really explored that option. Let me know down in the comments area below. Please also let me know what you think about this update. Is that something you value as like a really community adding feature, or how is your opinion on it? Let me also know down in the comments area below. I'm really sorry, the sickness is... Anyway, and then I'll be happily coming back to your comments. Let's then have a look into the updates regarding the Pro and the Pro Plus subscription on race control. I think they have received some more value right now because we do get additional practice servers that are only exclusively available for Pro and Pro Plus subscriptions. They run longer, so you can now select the practice server for an event that does not happen right now but is scheduled afterwards. This has always been a little bit of a tricky one where you had to wait for one event being done and then you can start the practice. No more of that with the exclusive practice servers for Pro and Pro Plus subscription. But more importantly, and I think this is where a real big one, especially for me personally, a big impact is happening is when we speak about the jokers that we can now use to nullify bad results on our driver rank, on our safety rank. We've spoken about this a couple of times already, and I'm showing a web page here that shows you my result history. And you see a P1, a P2, a P1 gives you between 3 to 5 to 6% of DR. And then there is one race, a P17 somewhere, where you crashed out and it deducts 30% of DR from you. So that's insane. As a Pro or Pro Plus subscriber, you now get a joker for every 10 races that you do in the online platform. And for every 10 races, you receive that joker that allows you to nullify a bad result. However, you need to note that you can only hold up to a maximum of 3 jokers at a time. But still though, if you're safe, if you're good, if you're consistent, you won't need that joker that much. If you have a disconnect once, if your equipment fails once, cool, place your joker. It will remove the bad impact from DR and SR. However, please note, this is only available for single races, only available on the daily races, special events and weekly events as long as it's solo driven. Team events will not be applicable for this. And this time around we receive more updates to the physics, and this is going to be both significant and revolutionary to a certain extent. We are getting significant updates to the way brakes are being simulated and how the brakes are working. So that means we get added lookup tables for the brake pad friction versus temperature curves, which allows more variable brake behavior. Additionally, brake disc thermal physics simulation overhaul, which is focusing more on the core temperatures and emissivity, and that will lead hopefully to a more consistent, more reliant and less random and less erratic brake behavior. But this is not it. If we're having a closer look onto the physics changelog that we see in this picture, look at the second dot. Added physically modeled punctures. So this will finally make a tire puncture, which has usually been displayed in the HUD as being like with a red circle and 0%, but this will finally enable a proper tire puncture being able to suffer. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll let you decide that. Put it down in the comments area below. You're looking forward to such things? The question to me is, how can we trigger those punctures? Will they be triggered if we're going over curbs? Will they be, triggered if we're going over sharp edges of some carbon fiber lying around? Or will they only get triggered when we crash hard enough into the wall and need to repair the suspension anyway? As a matter of fact though, we're actively losing a tire. We also cannot continue racing with that tire for that moment. I saw a video where once in Le Mans, someone clipped the wall, tire went red, but he kept on doing like 11 more laps before coming to the pit stop and then changing the tires. No, next time he needs to go in the pit in the very same lap he crashed, because a punctured tire will certainly should make him understeer, or if it's on the rear, obviously oversteer. So that's going to be interesting to see. And with that, guys, I'm going to end my deep dive into the updates. Yes, there is more updates, such as the Brazilian language coming to the ecosystem, but I wanted to really focus it on the key areas where I think this update is significant. Have I missed anything to you? What else are you expecting for the future? What do you think of this update? Let me know down in the comments area below, and let's enjoy racing on Le Mans Ultimate version 1.4 when it drops shortly. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to give the thumbs up to the video, subscribe and ring the bell, and then we see you next time. Bye bye.